Hey everyone, welcome to another video. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. This is part 1 of 2 of kind of a mini collab that I did with the amazing and very wonderful Chrissy, also known as Tirameowsu on YouTube. And so what we decided to do was kind of a pen pal art collab in which I drew some characters that she requested, and then in return she did some art of characters that I had requested, and we decided to keep it a surprise. So I'm not sure which of my characters she decided to draw, but I'm super excited. You guys have probably noticed that this filming area is a little bit different. I'm currently out of state doing a 4-week kind of internship. And so this setup is kind of makeshift, and I was finally able to get it to work. My gooseneck clamp is actually right here, and I'm leaning up right against it. That's the only place that I was able to find for it. So hopefully this video still works out well. But I just want to show you guys this really cute, just envelope with all these stickers that she had put on here. I feel really bad because it says do not bend, because there's artwork in here. But when I went to the mailbox, they kind of folded this top part over to get it to fit in the mailbox. So hopefully everything is still intact. But without further ado, let's get this open. And I apologize that last week I wasn't able to put a video out. I was actually really busy packing and then driving down here to my internship location. Okay. Here we go. All right, and that's everything. So I'll put this over here for now. And everything is just so cutely wrapped. Okay, so we've got extras, which I guess I will open second. And this must be the main package. And I will read this letter afterwards, but it looks like she wrote so much. Oh my goodness, I'm already gushing. This is super exciting. And this tissue wrap is just so cute. And if you guys haven't checked out Chrissy's channel, I will definitely put a link to it down below, as well as probably right here, right on screen. But yeah, definitely go check her out because her art is just so amazing, and she is such a sweet person. Ah! Oh my goodness! So much cute! So this one is of my OC Sora. Sorry, I'm just like gushing right now, and I'm just really bad at saying things because I'm just like, oh my goodness, the feels and the excitement. And it looks like she also included my other OC Denzel. And I think that's it for this package. So nice that she put cardboard to make sure that these would stay safe in transit. And then it looks like we've got extras. Okay. And I want to make sure that I open everything very neatly because everything is wrapped so wonderfully. Okay. Oh my goodness, and more letters. Oh, and she included some watercolors. So this looks like the Shinhan professional watercolor set. Oh my goodness. So just kind of a close-up. So she kind of gave little samplers of all the colors, which will be perfect because I wasn't able to bring a lot of my art supplies with me. It was just whatever could fit in the car for the drive down here. But more character art. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness. So this is my other OC, Rain. And then I'll kind of zoom in on all of these so you guys could see, like, her art is just so colorful and it just makes me so happy. And then this is my other OC Aru. Yeah, oh my goodness, I'm just gonna gush over these like for the rest of the day. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just gonna zoom in on her art of my OC Sora. He's actually my most recently created OC. And then this is actually going to be our piece for kind of our line art collab. So we decided to do a 2-part for our kind of pen pal art exchange. So the first part was to just draw a full color of the other's requested character. And then the second part is actually going to be us doing kind of like a collab where one person did the line art and then the other person who receives the line art gets to do the coloring. So that'll be really cool to do. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna get around to filming this. I wanna make sure I have all the proper art supplies. So I apologize in advance if I end up doing this at my apartment back when I'm done with this internship. So yeah, I'll clear all this out, and then the next part of this video will be whenever I get a chance to color this. So thanks guys, and I will see you real soon. Hello again. So I know for those of you who are watching, this is just a continuation of the same video, but for me it honestly feels really weird to not have to give an intro spiel again, just because the timing of everything with the post-video editing has been, spread over essentially a month. So when I opened the package, that was done when I was doing my away internship, and that was beginning of October. And then as you can see in the second clip, I am back to my usual filming spot, back home in my apartment, and that was done end of October when I was done with the internship and drove back home. And now I'm finally getting around to doing the voiceover, which is like the first week of November. So everything's just been very jumbled up in terms of timing wise, but that's post video editing for you. But anyways, I know I mentioned in the first part of the video that this was part 1, but this is actually part 2. So at the time that I was filming the opening of the package, I had completely forgotten that I already filmed part 1 and that footage was already good to go, and that the opening of the package was planned for part 2, so I apologize for all of that. I think I was able to edit and put in the text to kind of correct the things that I had said. So again, for part 2 of our collab, we decided to do line art and then mail that line art to the other person and have the other person do the coloring. So I think that was my idea. So I'm both a traditional and digital artist, and I've done a lot of digital art collabs where one person would do the sketch or the line art and then the other person would do the coloring. And for some reason I thought it was going to be a great idea to transfer that to a traditional art version, and I believe it was me who suggested it. But there are a lot of differences between digital and traditional art, so a digital art collab is probably a lot more doable and feasible because everything is saved as a computer file, and so you always have an original version of the other person's art. And if you mess up or anything, there's the Control-Z undo option, or if you mess up really bad or just want to start new, you could always go back to the person's original file. Whereas for traditional art, unless you make a copy of the person's artwork, that's all you have to work with. It's just this piece that this person has sent you, which can be incredibly nerve-wracking. I know for me there was a lot of pressure when I got this piece because it already looked amazing, and I was so scared that once I started coloring that I was gonna mess it up some way or somehow, just because I didn't really do a lot of planning for it. I kind of just went into it and just started filming. I had an idea in mind and was just gonna go for it and hope that it worked out. And thankfully it did work out. I think both me and Chrissy's collab piece turned out amazing, and I'm really happy with the results. And so initially for this piece, I was thinking of using watercolors, but even now I don't feel like I have a good enough grasp of watercolor technique, and I didn't want to turn her piece into kind of an experimental watercolor piece. So I decided to go with Copics, but even that was a bit of an undertaking. So I am very used to doing small, intricate details using fine liners and such. And so the paper size that I usually work with is about 5 by 7 inches, or the A5 size, and anything larger than that is kind of outside of my comfort zone. And granted, the piece that Chrissy sent me to do our collab work on was not that much larger, but because I had decided to do Copics, with Copic markers, when you start working on larger areas, there's the higher risk of streakiness or just uneven color distribution when you're laying down the ink. And so that was a bit scary for me as well, but I'm just really glad that the Art Snacks October box came with Copic markers with the chisel tip, and so I was able to kind of learn how to use the chisel tip, and that really helped in terms of coloring the tail part of my character, which, by the way, this is Denzel. He's my original character. I've talked about him a few times in previous videos, but that's the character that I'm coloring in this video. And yeah, so the chisel tip definitely saved me in terms of laying down the color, since you will notice that when I went over with the brush nib originally, it did leave a lot of streaking, and then I just went over it with the chisel, and that really helped with just spreading the color more evenly throughout the piece. And overall, I'm just really happy with the way that this turned out. So the funny thing about this piece in terms of the Copic markers is that when I had gotten this piece when I was doing my away internship, I could not remember what Copic colors I had back home in my apartment. And the thing about being back home in my apartment, you know, where I go to medical school, is that there aren't really any art supply stores that are nearby. Like, I think the closest might be a 30-minute drive, which is a headache because you have to go over to the next town, drive on the highway, and it's just a hassle. And so when I was at my away internship, I was like, okay, I know I have my skin tone colors, but I don't think I have the purples that I need for this piece. And so thankfully there was a Michael's like 3 miles away, and so I decided to go there and just pick up a few markers. And I'm just really glad that my character Denzel has a fairly limited color palette compared to all of my other characters, and so it's just a matter of getting the right purples and such. And granted, the colors that I am using are a bit too saturated, since his color palette is more on the grayish side and more muted colors, but these were the colors that they had at Michael's, and overall I think it still gives the general vibe of, you know, his character and the colors that he should have. But yeah, so that was an adventure. And then, of course, with my skin tone markers, so for my Copic markers, I don't store them all in the same place. I have like multiple pencil pouches for them. So once one pencil pouch gets filled with Copic markers, I'll just move on to the next one. And so when I grabbed the skin tone markers, I started using them for this piece. And during the whole time, it just felt like a struggle to get the skin, like the baseline or the base skin color, because like it felt like the ink was running dry, and I was just so confused because I was like, I had just bought skin tone markers. Like, I don't know why it's already running out. Like, I only used it for part 1 of the collab. Like, what's going on? And thankfully, you know, I had enough color to spread over the entire piece, and I didn't have to switch out markers or anything. But when I was done and putting the markers away, I was like, oh, I used the wrong skin tone markers. And I don't know why I put all my skin tone markers in different areas, but I had grabbed the wrong skin colors, and these are like years old, whereas the ones that I just bought were in a different pencil pouch. So that was quite an adventure. But thankfully, again, it all worked out and everything looked great. And again, I'm gonna put a link to Chrissy's social media accounts down below in the description. Definitely go check her out and give her some love, because she's not only an amazing artist, but she's also just a really sweet person in general. And I will also link her part 1 and her part 2 of our collab, so go watch those if you haven't already. Overall, I'm so happy that we were able to do this collab together. We've been talking about it for some time now, and I know with me being super busy with med school, I'm just really glad that we were able to find a time that worked for the both of us, especially because it's 2 parts and we had to buffer in the time it took for mailing everything. So yeah, I'm just really happy with being able to do this collab with her. So thank you again, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video.